Welcome back, everybody, here to another episode of GregTech Community Edition Modern. Pretty excited here. We're getting closer and closer to our end of our HV journey. After the last two episodes, glad that we got the clean room up and running, but yeah, the second one back there, can't believe I missed out on so much prep work for that one. But all of everything's got me excited. I've created a new level because we're going to start putting machines up here. I'm hoping that using... forgot my jetpack was on. I'm going to use little tunnel areas like this one here to be able to funnel up a lot of... what's it called? Pipes up in this area. Just so that we can be able to pipe up. I really want to get... I want to figure out how I can rewire my benzene up so that it can actually snake its way around and help fill up this tank and then come back. But maybe what I need to do is I need to move all of my fuel production up here. But we'll see. Because I know this next machine is probably going to go downstairs in the basement as it is very, very loud. Let's go show the progress on what I've done elsewhere really quick. As I'm getting turned around on my own base. But we freshened up our sulfuric acid over here. So now it's all made in one thing using simply just a water input and sulfur. Now we've let that been running. I did finally pause it because I went and I looked at my sulfur. I was out of sulfur. So we do have this as well. This is going to be doing... This does our methane currently into our setup to make polytetrafluoroethylene. Polytetrafluoroethylene. Now, got a little confusion that I'm hoping somebody might be able to help me out with. So if you understand what's going on, let me know. I was pretty sure, looking through this whole process, we were supposed to get back all of our hydrogen when we electrolyze it. It has not been coming back. I've been, like, as you can clearly see, there's none in there, and there's only 3 millibuckets in here. And I don't have a place that it should be escaping, because that electrolyzer literally only wires back into the system somehow. So we'll get our hydrogen there, and we'll get our chlorine that goes up. And there's no hydrogen in here, so it's not like it's hiding in some pipe somewhere. So I'm quite confused at how this has even become a problem. Especially since, I guess the only way I could check... Yeah, no, that one's also set to only distribute that way. So I'm really confused where the hydrogen's just disappearing to. I did also set this one up to auto-craft me some blaze powder. And just a note, so I was looking around for solutions online to make it so that I don't craft too many. I still screwed it up, but now I can make it to where I only craft 64. And there's 64 in here, so I'll have 128 in total up and ready. And I was looking for a solution where it would only dispense one of each item. The way that you do this is you turn off the bus, because this is for the bus itself, not the machine. So the machine is still enabled and will work if I take one out, but the bus does not automatically pull things in. I did do this with an ME interface as well, because I was reading some stuff. But if you do this without turning off the bus will automatically suck the item in anyways. So you'll end up with the same problem of it's not doing what you wanted it to do. And so I'm probably going to look at switching over to these, as people are saying that import buses are laggier when it comes to, like, performance on the computer. As well as the fact, this is something else I noticed, interfaces are automatic. There's no, like, dispersion time between them getting inserted or not. Now, my only question, and I'll have to figure this out, or if somebody knows, they can let me know. can you use fluids with that? Because if you can use fluids, I would much rather use interfaces than inputs, where we have that. Though I'm going to try to do the pipes with these 4, and then I can even go up to 9 times pipes, which we'll see. We'll see how that all works. But now into what we're actually going to do. Okay, this is the exciting part. Let's first get rid of the dirt. I don't want the dirt anymore. So, first I'm going to start making some dopped silicone, or phosphorus dopped silicone wafers. So we're going to stuff... Oh, crap. Let's turn it off. I didn't think about that part. So let's grab the silicone. One more. Okay, so now it shouldn't do anything. There we go. So we're going to get ourselves a phosphorus dopped monocrystalline silicone bundle. It will take 300 seconds despite 2 things. Not only do I have the high voltage upgraded to EV, since we ended up getting all of that up. So even with the recipe being higher, that means that would take 600 seconds normally. So that's pretty crazy to think about. But we're going to get that going so that we can start doing our SoC system on chip wafers, because these ones allow us to get into our next thing we want to get into. We'll just have to get some yellow dye. But I just wanted to show that off really quick. And the big thing is you need to make sure that that is not set to anything, because if it is, it will start consuming your silicone, unless it's, I guess, on a number that it doesn't recognize. But I have been whipping up some tooling here. We're going to have to grab out the last of my charcoal, and I forgot to be stumping this away, but we'll be able to craft up what I need beforehand. Which, we need to get tooling and sugar and polyethylene. We're going to put that into a chemical reactor to react with each other. I do want that out of there because I don't want it reacting somehow. I don't want like some sort of mistaken recipe we don't want. We'll put our sugar and our polyethylene in there. Oh, that's right. Voltage tier is too low because to make it we do need the advanced. So I wonder if I can trick that machine downstairs to making it. Sneak in here again. I love all these little holes that I made for myself. I was actually really enjoying just plugging around through them earlier. So we need to put them in. So that's the output hatch. We want the input hatch. And then we want sugar and polyethylene. We can do this. Insufficient outputs. That's right. I have a 64 output there. So the answer is no. I cannot trick it to do that. But we can trick this one. No, we can't. We don't have enough inputs. Ah! We can do this one. And it won't output the items, so we'll be good. Please don't react with everything else. Okay, we're good. I did forget to prepare an additional advanced chemical reactor, that's for sure. But we need our gel tooling. The next machinery we're getting into, so we can progress up and into our circuits, is our blast implosion compressor. So we get our gel tooling. Who's that? See, I don't understand. That's why. I have another filter. I do. Okay. So we want this filter to insert. only applies to what is inserted or extracted. So we want that, and we want chloroform. Chloroform. That should fix our problem. Okay. Got our gel tool. We'll leave that down here because we'll be up here later for that. We're going to have to go back down for that later. But I do have all of the blocks prepared for it, as well as the items to make the explosion compressor. Implosion. Implosion, implosion, implosion. Boom. So once again, that's going in the basement, because I do not want to listen to this thing go off over and over again if we get this automated to craft up certain things. I don't know if we will need it automated, but it is loud. That's all I remember. And it's not something I want to listen to. So, 1, 2, is that right? Place the wrong block. We're making basically a little square here, and I did actually do it. So it used to be 1 foot. Okay, so we need our energy hatch here in the back. I like our maintenance hatch up in the center. And we need an input and output and a muffler. The picture had it here. I don't know if it really matters that much. Put our muffler back there. We'll put our basic turbine to power it, because it only needs LV power for any of this stuff. As basically, I guess the best way to think about it is it's literally just providing the spark needed to make the explosion. So, input and output. Might as well have them back here. Again, I don't know if we'll actually need to get this automated, and if it doesn't, then it'll be a little bit annoying to get to it, but at least it is ready to be automated if I need that. And we do that. Now we just gotta do our maintenance. Boom, boom, boom. Got ourselves a new stainless steel screwdriver. Kind of an upgrade for... That's not the right... Not the right patch. There we go. That's all set. And now we are ready to start providing recipes. Which, with our gel tooling, we'll go back up and we'll look at making TNT. Which, that's where sulfuric acid comes in. Because the TNT recipe we're going to be using is quite literally just sulfuric acid and the gel tooling. Yeah. I don't know why I feel like I'm saying that wrong. That's not that backpack. Not that backpack. But every time I say it, it just feels like I'm saying it wrong. I don't know what's up with that. Alright, all together now. Well, I'm pretty excited about this part, and I guess actually the one thing we should look up really quick. Do I need to make this? I do need an HV mixer. That is one thing I did not prep up, so we can actually get started with that. Let's look at this HV mixer. And here's the best part. So I can auto-craft all of that. 1, 2, 3, 4. I set up 5 CPUs upstairs. They're all 1K besides that very first one. This is 16K. I set them up so that I could just have a bunch of things auto-cooled. Now we can go make our TNT while we're waiting for that. Basic chemical reactor. All the sulfuric acid and the gel tooling. And there is going to be our very first TNT. I will say, I kind of got scattered around because this is the first one it shows you with those recipes. And you're like, I gotta do what? I gotta get nitration mixer? What is that? Oh man, I gotta mix sulfuric acid and nitric acid? You know, doesn't matter what, but when you look up nitric acid and you go, oh, oxygen, like that's a lot of stuff. So you just kind of end up like going down the rabbit hole going, Which realistically, that's actually not too bad. We could probably get that. But I believe... No, it is a small reactor. If we wanted to start making nitric acid. But... I know there was one... Is it in the large one? It's supposed to be one where we can make our benzene better, and I forgot if it's... I don't think it's nitric acid that's used for that. Could be wrong. We're going to eventually have to get platinum group sludge, so we'll be doing that anyways. Is it the nitration mixture for that? Yeah, it's right there. So, a nitration mixture and distilled water to make this. So, gotta refresh that in there. Why is that in there? I guess I pulled it out and forgot to empty it. I'll just use one of the other ones I got. So, do gotta keep this going. We can come up here. I don't hear the machines upstairs anymore, so we might be able to give it our mixer. So now we need the stuff to make the ender pearls, which should have everything. We need some beryllium, nitrogen, and potassium. Now the question is, do I already have some crushed beryllium? Doesn't look like it, so we'll probably just step on down here. Toss that in there, let that get going. We're going to need potassium, so let's grab ourselves a stack of the potassium, and we're going to need ourselves some nitrogen, which, I got another full one again. I've been trying to get through one barrel with all of the smelting I could possibly do, and it's just not happening. So I'm kind of excited to get to the point where we can use that for nitric acid a little bit more readily, as it's not going to cut it. Let's go ahead and do it in here, because this one I know for a fact has... Do that. And we'll go get whatever we getting out of here. We're getting some emeralds. I feel like we've got some beryllium somewhere. So while this is processing, let me look that up. Beryllium. Let me just double click. See if I got any anywhere. There's 12 there. There's 20p right there. That's good. And none in there. Okay. So we can start off with this amount. That's going to be this. We should go check. We got 15 TNT. That's exciting. With that. Looks like we might be a little bit short still on our nether one, so we'll wait. But we'll go down. We'll start getting that mixture put together of beryllium and potassium. Is there a number involved? Number 1. It says it takes 8 seconds in this machine. So it should be done relatively quickly. Chew through quite a bit of nitrogen. And once we get those ender pearls, and we have it with the blaze dust, we'll actually be able to make... Ooh, we straight up... Oh, no, it's just printed in chat. Oh, we're going to have to enable cheats really quick so I can get it printed in chat. I will have to defeat the Ender Dragon. Well, I guess we're going to make some armor. At some point here. I'm not really ready for that, but... So we need to go to our input hatch. We input our ender pearls, TNT, and if I don't know if I have any polyethylene tubes, I do not. I need to get a screen down here so I can access stuff while I'm down here. That's the one thing I kind of forgot about doing, because I have 2 floors now that I can't access the panel. I need my... They're not even in there, though. It doesn't matter. They're in here. Polyethylene. So let's go ahead, come down, and we will hear it go off in 3, 2, 1. Oh. Boom. See, that's what I'm talking about. I want to hear that very often. But we're already out of TNT, and we've made only 9 ender pearls, so we do need a bit more of gelled tooling to be able to finish this off. So let's go see what this can bring us. Yes. Let's still got the other stuff in there. Can I get the one there? Okay, so and then while we're waiting, we'll grab out another. Hopefully this will get me just... I think I do have enough to be just over a bucket if I take this down, but I want to make sure I have the full bucket, so we're just gonna go there, because I know for a fact we at least have 25 millibuckets in there. Now this will give us the 12. Not there, right there. Oh yeah, it's a good thing I waited. We had 75. But there is our 20 gel tooling, and I'm glad I did this recipe because this increases it by 10-fold, whereas if you do the other one, like, you don't really get a whole lot of gel tooling out of it. But we get a few more from that. Looks like our phosphorus dot monocrystal silicone tool is done. So let's go back over here. I think we just need 2 more. Let's look at that one. So it needs 4, so 2 should be enough. Let's get this in the cutter, because I'm sure this one's going to take a while. 40 seconds. So 340 seconds to fully process that. Pretty wild if you ask me. And we went another boom. That gave us 12 ender pearls. Exactly what they said we needed. So now, before we go any further, I want to make sure that we have cheats enabled. So we'll go ahead and do the open to LAN, allow cheats, and start that. Just so those are enabled. We don't want those in the inventory. I do have enough blaze up there to make them into blaze rod, or not blaze rods, but into thing. So we need ourselves 4 of them, or not 4, 1 per each, so 12 of them to make the Eyes of Ender. We're gonna need even more than that, which is why we're letting the stuff flow while we wait. Where is... right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then does it require a... I don't need it. I can straight up just use an LV. That's pretty crazy. That means I don't think I can use... I don't think I can use these ones over here. If I can, that'd be kind of wild in my opinion. I did make another extractor somewhere, I believe. Oh, it's right there in front of my face. go ahead and use that one. Get your blaze rods out. That is at 4,000 degrees. So what do I have that can carry 4,000 degrees? Oh. Let's dump that. Let's see, do we have any cells that can do that? Steel cell can carry... Nope. Titanium. Nope. Tungsteel. Nope. Well, I know what we could do. We could do buckets, but that means I need more blaze rods. So let's go get more blaze powder. And we will scrap whatever blaze is in there, because kind of forgot that you kind of want the machine close by. Tooling again. Number 4, I believe. 4. There we go. Now it will make more. Meanwhile, let's take these bad boys downstairs. Can I get one done? Get one done at a time. Okay, so there's our very first one. I'll be back when we're on our last one. Alright, kind of back already, because I realized I put battery in here. So I can just do this. I forgot. Because I did cheap out and put a medium voltage thing here, which I don't think it matters too much that we're putting medium voltage through it. You just definitely don't get as much power. But I've already got a battery in here, so it will just charge up once I'm done with it anyways. But we will want more than the 12. Actually, what am I talking about? Okay, so it did not pop those coordinates up in chat, so... Oh, no, I have to click it. Okay, okay, we're good. Sharpness 5. Please. Interesting. I'm not necessarily a peaceful player, but I didn't know. I guess this is all new here with warped forests. But we're gonna go ahead and read this one. I guess we did already read this one. For the most part, we have to slay the Ender Dragon, because regardless of whether you're playing on peaceful or not, you will have to defeat the Ender Dragon to return to the overworld safely. Prepare yourself with a bow and a few arrows, and a blade, and some beds for speedrunner strats. This quest will print the location of the nearest stronghold in chat. This will not work if you have cheats disabled, unfortunately. So by doing that, I believe I can... Oh, I don't want to do that part. Can I, like... copy them? No. Okay, we'll look at that in a second. Just gotta find a piece of paper to write this down so I can enter in a little bit. Enter exactly where that pinpoint needs to be located, and we can get that done next time. So that is that one. Put in our waypoint. Make waypoint. Add end stronghold. You know, there's no space in there, but okay, and then it is 1648. Squiggly. 1056. That way. That is quite the distance, and the sad, disappointing thing is I will not be going there today, as, two things. I need to prepare some tools and armor, and I don't know if there's any kind of weapons, like swords or anything. Doesn't look like there's really any. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of damage. What says 7? 105? What kind of weapons could we even have? We got netherite is 9. Uranium, cobalt brass, magnetic, tungsten, carbide, bronze, flux, quartz. Do they have a stainless steel one? Pen. So that would actually straight up be the best sword that we could possibly make. I don't know why it was so hard to find. We need a hammer and a file in a different location, though. Let's see if we can actually get a thing with that enchantment on it. I honestly thought about just using the saw I made a chainsaw when we were needing to go get some wood for that, making the tooling. Because this was the easiest way I saw to make it, was to put the wood tar in here. Sword. So we need stainless steel. Oh. 2 of those. File. 1. 2. Get her stick, get her hammer out of stick. Hammer. We're gonna have to make a stainless steel hammer too, just so we have one for other recipes we need. And can we enchant it with this sharpness 5, or am I too short on levels? That's pretty nice. Now, do we have any other cool bows we can do? Just a regular bow. Alright. I don't know if I got any string, and I looked up the way to make string, and it is not exactly easy. Because you either gotta make this thing, or you can macerate wool. Macerating wool is fine, but like this one, a big old long process, because you do need a blast furnace, this special dust. On this special dust is made in a like 4-step process or something. Yeah. Nitrosol chloride, chlorhexene, which needs benzene, hydrogen, and nickel. So, not gonna do that one right now. Arrows. I think I can do arrows really quick. Oh, I forgot that they also got all these things. Yeah, we'll just stick with the basic arrows, but I need feathers for that. So maybe I just rely on going and killing a few more cows, getting myself another hang glider so that I can speedily fly around in the end. Is this... Do we have those... What are those called? Elytras? Yeah. Okay. I don't know if those are actually any good here. It's actually going to be something interesting to find out. If those are any better than... probably better than the hang glider, since you can kind of do different directions. But that's more for, like, speedy travel than anything else, I guess. But I think we'll get prepped up to get ourselves a suit of armor and then head to the end next time. So I will see you guys next time. We go off to finish Minecraft. Not GregTech, just Minecraft. Bye!